Test. All right. Getting to that point where we need to start the show. All right, let's just start it. What do you say? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's Friday again. My name's Abe Duque. I am your host for today on 343 TV. We are here every day, including Sundays sometimes, most Sundays. At 1 p.m., we stream live on all sorts of topics regarding music production, music creation, composition, mixing, mastering, anything you could imagine. We are here and we are ready to give you guys what you need to get your work done. We like to keep it live. These live streams are very special to us, especially to me. I look forward to it all week. I actually spend all week planning for these live streams. You wouldn't believe the amount of work that goes into trying to get this just 1 hour stream going, but I'm really happy about it. I'm so into it. I'm actually kind of obsessed with it right now. And I'm very happy to be here again with you guys, talking to you about all the things that I love to talk about. Let's see. Let's have a look in the chat to see what's going on. It's a few people in there sitting there. Andrew Duque is saying hello. He always says hello. Somebody is in from Portugal. CHDB, I believe, from Portugal. Great. Welcome. I have my computer with my chat over here. I should move it a little bit this way for next time. But hey, this is what you get, right? Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have a little trouble twisting my neck back and forth looking at what's going on in the chat. But regardless, we are here. And today I had the title for the show today was Seeing Sound. Seeing Sound. So seeing sound, what is this all about? What is Abe talking about when he's talking about seeing sound? Well, basically, your ears are your maximum guide to what's going on when you're producing and when you're mixing and mastering and so on. Of course, your ears are telling you all the information, most of the information that you'll need to have. But there's a point where your ears kind of, they don't fail you, but they kind of run out of information, of useful information. And then your eyes can take over. And at that point, you could use your visual cortex to kind of augment what you're actually working with. And I have a problem with this this earbud keeps on falling out of my ear. So let me put it back in there. So here it is. All right. So I wanted to discuss some of the basic tools of music production when it comes to the visual aids that you get. And one of look, Max is here in the chat. Good. Max is here. Max, you can call in whenever you like. But I wanted to discuss some of the tools that we're talking and using here on a daily basis. And some of them you take for granted. And let's talk about one right here. I have some loops in here. Let me just get my DAW going. I have some loops going in here where I can play you some material. Let's see if I can get this going. So just some loops happening. And let me just move this over here so I can see what's going on. So as you see here, you have a meter, and you take it for granted sometimes that the meter is kind of showing you the information that it's showing you. And a lot of the times what I find is that people don't realize that the meter is actually showing you a couple of things at the same time. This meter, and this goes for most DAWs, it's actually a dual meter. It's showing you two things that you need to understand the difference between. And the difference, well, in what it looks like is that you'll see that one is a little duller and the other readout is a little bit brighter. These readouts, they correspond to measuring peak and RMS. And this is important that you understand what it's measuring. So peak would be the level of the sound that gets at the highest point, but there's a time component to it. It would need to be around for at least 10 milliseconds. So if a sound happens and is there for at least 10 milliseconds, it's going to register at the peak part of your measurement here. So let's have a look at the peak. You'll see this here, and you can see it here as well. This here is the peak portion of the meter. And right now, and a lot of people don't know, and most DAWs will let you do this, it'll kind of reset here where the peak actually gets up to. And that means a sound, especially in this percussive sound, or percussive loop that we're listening to here, this sound is going to be here with fast transients, and these fast transients are getting up to negative 2.5. So there's another meter over here. What is this one all about, though? That brighter one, the one that you see down, lower, that never gets as high as the dull one. That one is measuring RMS. RMS is, well, let's call it root mean square. Root mean square talks about, it's a math term referring to averages. And basically, the way that we get the root mean square is believe it or not, it's referred to as, it's talked about in ballistics. And I know it's not bullets, but it's actually referred to orthotics. And the ballistics in the peak portion of the meter is going to be 10 milliseconds, right? So it'll measure in 10 milliseconds. But in the RMS portion of the ballistics of that meter, you will have 300 milliseconds. So 300 milliseconds versus 10 milliseconds. So what does that mean? Well, the sounds that hang around for at least 300 milliseconds, those are the sounds that actually get to be to be shown on that part of the meter. And those are the sounds that make up your apparent loudness. The apparent loudness is something that that makes up longer. So this is the difference between peak and RMS, and it's a very important way to consider and look at your sound, because understanding that there is a gap between peak and RMS that you could see happening here, where the peak transients are getting really loud versus the apparent loudness of the RMS that is happening here. Wow, that's a big difference there. So let us grab something like a limiter. Let's take a limiter and put that in there. Now the limiter is going to do a fine job at squashing and bringing in the difference between the peak and the RMS. Now watch, keep an eye on the meter as things go. But you'll notice that the gap between peak and RMS actually closed in. And that closing in of the gap between the peak and the RMS readings are going to signify an apparent loudness gain. Now, obviously you don't want to go as loud and you don't want to push it as much as I did. But the idea is that this is what can happen with new meter peak and RMS. So let's have a look at what's going on in the chat. Max says he's almost ready. I have some situations here. Okay, I have some people in my chat, and I think Max is attempting to call. Some people are attempting to call. I think there's been a lot of technical situations going on with this show. And I must say that, I feel like I might be overreaching sometimes with all the technical things that I'm trying to get accomplished here. We are watching 343 TV. My name's Abe Duque. Whoa, somebody's coming in. Let's see. Let's get Max in here. Max, well, I'm going to assign you to guest slot number 3, and you should be there. Hello, Max.
Hey, Abe.
Hey, Max. I asked you to come here today because I've lost your feed for some reason. There we go. I've asked you to come in here today because I wanted to play a little game with you today. But by the way, yeah. By the way, everybody, Max is one of the founders of 343 Labs, and of course, then now continuing with 343 TV. Yes, he has his wine ready. Maybe Max, you can tell us
a drinking game.
It's not a drinking game. Max, can you maybe tell us a little bit about what we have going on with 343 Labs? Just to kind of clarify what we're. Can you hear me, Max?
What we have going on? Yeah. What we have going on? Well, we have a lot going on, Abe.
Yeah, tell us all about it. I mean, just taking a little pause to like.
Yeah, sure. Totally. So for those of you that don't know, 343 Labs started as a music production school, and we have a school in New York, in Berlin now, and online. We started about 2 years ago. In fact, I think we just had our 2-year anniversary because we started in. I'm just going to take these off. We started in Berlin. We started in New York 2 years ago, and then in June we opened in Berlin, and we have lots of classes also online. And now with 343 TV, we're growing our community, and we have lots of events going on. Before COVID, we had a lot of in-person events. Now, obviously, most of our events are online, but we do have a couple of events in Berlin that are happening in person. So yeah, that's basically it.
So, all right, thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, 343 Labs for me has been something very wonderful, an experience that I love to teach. And Max and I were both teaching back in the day at a place called Dubspot, and that came to an end. And when that happened, we were kind of all sad. And Max made it sure that we can keep it going, and we're here back again. And Max, your camera is kind of dead. I just
Sorry, yeah.
I just see
I
dark.
don't know what's going on. Let me change my
Lots
my
of technical
camera.
things going on today. Hopefully, we'll get through this.
Yep.
So as soon as you get your camera going again, then we could start the little surprise. I told Max, come on in. I want to have a little surprise for you today, and I want to share the surprise live on the stream, but Max's camera is not happening. Oh, there we go. Camera back, sort of.
Sort of. How about
Okay,
now?
so here we are. So Max, today we're going to play a little game, and this game is called "This Is Your Life."
Oh,
Max Wild.
This is your life.
oh,
So Max, we have something. No, this used to be a game back in the 50s, I think, in the United States, where you would get an unsuspecting person and then bring things from their past and have them, be in the chat. But you know what? This is a bit of a downer right now because we sort of lost the guest that we had ready for "This Is Your Life." Oh man, this is live, everybody. We had the guest queued up, and the guest disappeared. I think you shoot him away, Max. I don't know what happened. All right. Oh man, this was so.
oh, we can keep chatting.
We could keep chatting. Of course, let's talk a little bit more about seeing sound. So
One shot for losing our guest.
yeah, let's put the DAW back up for a little bit, and let's get you in there as well. So Max, you'll be number 3, so you should be on there. There you go. So we were talking about metering, Max, and we were talking about the difference between peak and RMS metering. So peak and RMS being very important to those that understand what it is. I have to be honest. For many years, I didn't know the difference between peak and RMS metering. Peak and RMS metering to me was not even existent. I thought it was just a pretty sort of a pretty way of presenting.
The same thing.
Well, the level, oh, look at that level.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of bright and it's kind of dark, oh, look at that. That's interesting. But then I realized what peak and RMS, that it was actually showing peak and RMS. I mean, I knew about peak and RMS before, but I didn't know that the levels, especially in Ableton or even all other DAWs, they're showing this peak and RMS level. And the magic of the peak and RMS is that you can really understand how to, kind of manipulate or kind of work with your apparent loudness, which, a lot of times we really want to have things present louder. So that's one thing, the peak and RMS levels. Now, let me just check if our guest has come back yet. Maybe, hold on, let me just send the guest a message to see what happened. Maybe they don't even realize that that we went off. This was such a good surprise, man. You wouldn't believe what we had going on, and I don't want to spoil it yet because I'll have to spoil it if the guest doesn't come back on. I don't want to spoil it yet, but
In the meantime, I'll say hi to Andrew Duque. Hello, Andrew. I have to say, Andrew, I missed you at my stream, and I will take this personally that you are joining Abe's stream and not mine. See, we're very competitive here with this streaming.
yeah.
I know Abe's trying to get the highest numbers, but
No, I'm actually I'm trying, but it's not working. You're gaining on me. You're like it's like the election.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sweep it right under you.
Yeah, you're gonna take it, man. You're gonna take it.
And then we've got DB. What's up? Jose Moctezuma. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Hank, what's up? And John H. Kingston from Rockaway Park. What's up?
So the guest has just told me that their computer crashed and they're trying to restart everything and get back on. So we're going to give them a minute to do that. You had this all
planned out, Abe.
What's that? Yeah,
this all planned out.
I had this all planned out. You're going to be happy when they come back. We have plenty of time. So let's talk a little more about what's about all the.
I'm scared.
You shouldn't be. It's somebody from your past, let's say.
Oh, an ex-girlfriend. Oh no, Abe. I better start drinking more.
Yeah, you better. Okay, so let's talk about another visual aid that a lot of people take for granted. So, if any of you that might have taken a class with me, or especially a mixing and mastering class, you would have maybe. Wait a second. Here we are. There's a guest in the green room.
I have to close my eyes.
The guest is instructed to keep their identity secret for the moment.
Okay.
Let's see if the guest can speak. Guest, are you there?
Greetings, 343 Labs.
Oh. All right.
That's scary.
Yeah. So this guest is somebody very deep, goes very far back in your past. Somebody that maybe, I'm not going to give too much away. I'm going to give you 3 questions you can ask the guest to see if you could figure out who this guest is. Go ahead, Max.
Wait, a guest from my past.
Yes, a mysterious person from your past.
Okay.
Max. This is a voice from your past, present, and future.
Okay, first question. Do I know this person from New York?
Yes.
What the hell? Is this person?
Perhaps this will refresh your memory. Here is a piece of music that you may recognize.
Manhattan School of Music.
Wait for it.
Oh my God! Wait. Is this Kiva? Kiva! That's crazy.
What's going on, brother? Long time.
Yo, great to see you. Cheers.
Yeah, same. Hey, and for everybody tuning in right now, I actually was one of Max's mentors back in the day. This music that you hear right now, he came to a Reason workshop that I taught about 10 years ago, and I found out he played saxophone, so we strung up a mic and he recorded this saxophone on top of this beat that the class made together.
Wow, you still have that? That's amazing. Where did you find that, Kiva? You still had that?
It was just on one of the old hard. It was on. Yeah, I'll send it to you. It was on one of the old hard drives. Abe and I had kept in touch over the years, and I saw how you've been, getting this 343 thing up and running.
Yeah.
And Abe reached out to me earlier, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing this weekly show. We should have you be a little guest." So here I am. Good to be here.
That's so cool. So good to see you, Kiva.
Yeah, Kiva was Kiva was actually my mentor as well. When I came to teach at Dubspot, they kind of put me under his wing as a TA to his class. And I remember the first class that I TA'd, I was TAing while Max was a student in Kiva's class, if if I'm not mistaken. So
Kiva is the OG. He's like,
he really
was
is.
like my first teacher. That's right. He was like doing all this crazy stuff on the APC, and I was like, oh my god. that was still the first APC, right?
Yeah.
It was dope, all that dub shit, and oops,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say that on here.
All right, so
where are you at now, Kiva?
So I was living down the Caribbean for a while. I was living down the Virgin Islands, island of St. Croix, and then I got out of there right before those big hurricanes a few years back. I got out of there about a month before that, and I've been living in South Florida ever since. So I'm here at this point, South Florida.
right on. So Kiva's going to help us a little bit with the class for today, which is on seeing sound today, right? We were discussing a little bit about the peak in RMS, but now I think Kiva has something a little bit that he wanted to add in about seeing sound. Is that right? I got your.
Yeah.
I think you need to bring up
Yeah, let me
your
go ahead and
your
keep the
DAW.
screen share on.
Yeah, get your screen share going, and I'll bring Max in as well.
All right, and you can hear my normal microphone, no more Daft Punk robot voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay, is the DAW appearing? The screen sharing is working now?
Yeah. We're good. We're
All
good.
right, perfect. Yeah, hey, so hey, greetings to everybody that's tuning in right now from all around the world. My name is Kiva. I'm an Ableton Certified Instructor. Been a friend for a long time to both Max and Abe here from 343. So it's a pleasure to be on the show, guys. Thank you for having me as a little guest. So yeah, Abe had hit me up earlier this week and asked if I wanted to come through and be on the show. And he told me that the topic was visualization and music production. And I saw how he just talked with you about meters and some of those other visual elements that we use where our ears can't always tell exactly what's going on. Well, I wanted to show you some interesting technology that you may or may not have heard about that definitely takes that visual element to another level. I have always felt that when I listen to the mixes that are extremely well done, that it creates a bit of what I call a sonic hologram. If I put on my headphones and I close my eyes when I listen to certain producers' work, they take me into their universe. They take me into their world. And I'll hear all the different sounds in different places within the mix. And it's like this all immersive environment when you listen to a really well done track. Well, there was some work that was done back in the early 90s by this one producer by the name of David Gibson. He worked with people like Michael Jackson, a bunch of other big artists, and mixed their records. But he's kind of like a Yoda of music production type work from those times. And he actually made some learning materials that I came across at one point. And one thing that he was doing all the way back in the early 90s was he had this concept of visual mixing. And he actually worked with some computer programmer to make these, they're kind of 80s looking, crazy looking graphics. But it would look like a virtual room. And when the music starts playing, there's these different colored bubbles. They almost look like balloons. And they'll have the name of the element on it. And you can actually see like where he placed the element within the mix. So certain things are going to be dead center. So they'll be right in the middle. And depending on how loud he mixed them, it will be closer to you or further back. And then he made it so that, as he pans different things, you can see that certain things will be on your left or on your right. And it's just a really interesting concept that ties into that whole notion that, like I said, holographic sound is thinking like three-dimensionally when you're mixing music, moving beyond just like stereo left and right, actually thinking like up and down, front to back, side to side, and all these things. So in recent years, the Isotope Company has been doing some work in this field as well. So they have a plug-in system for EQing that's called Neutron, but it includes a couple other innovations that allow the different tracks in your session to actually like interact and talk to one another. And you can actually control certain elements from another track with a certain track. So one of the things that they have introduced in their new version of Neutron is they have something that's called Visual Mixer. So I'm going to go ahead and take this session that I have. I have a session here. This is a remix that I did for an artist named Tough Like Iron. This is a song that came out earlier this year called We Not Play That. That's out. You can look for it on Spotify and all those kinds of places. Anyway, I have my remix session open right now, and I'm going to go to the master channel. I'm going to go to my plugins, and I'm just going to type visual. And here's the Isotope Neutron 3 visual mixer. I'm going to place it on the master track. Okay, so when it first loads up, you'll notice it has a few things that are on it right now. I want to show you what's going on with that. In order for this to work, what you do is you go to individual tracks, and you're going to put another thing that they make, which is called relay. And relay is just a device that you put on the track that allows it to show up and talk with the visual mixer on the master channel. So I'll put one on my bass. I'm going to put one on the drum group. I put one on this percussion group. I have a guitar group here. I'll put it on as well. So you can put as many instances of this as you need to. You can rename things up here too. If you need to change the name, you can call it whatever you want right there. That way the name will match when you look in the visual mix on your master channel. So let me put a relay over here on the keys. And then lastly, got the vocals right here. So I add a relay to that. Now when I go back to the visual mixer, you're going to see that there's a lot more names listed here on the side, and it shows up with just a little bubble up top. Now, some of the instruments, some of the individual instruments within the groups, I had already made individual tracks for. So you can see there's a lead clavichord there. There's a bunch of percussion that I played. So there's some different bell patterns and things that are laid out around there. Now, the way this works is, now that we have these different elements, this is basically going to control the volume as well as the panning for each of these tracks. So you can see here in the middle, we have dead center. And then from bottom to top, it goes from silence to maximum volume. You then have your left to right field too, so you can decide where you want to put things within that field. Now, to select different elements, you can either click on them like this, or if you have a bunch that are stacked up on top of one another like they are right now, you can go and click on its name over on the right, and then that's going to bring it into the selection, and then you can adjust it. So let me just start by bringing a lot of these elements down. I'll bring all my groups down. So I brought the drums down, bring the keys down, bring the bass down, percussion group, and vocals. Now, some of these other elements that I see up here right now, oh, the guitars, can't forget those guitars. Some of the other elements that are up here right now are actually individual elements within the groups in case I want to pan them around. So here's some tambourine, and some piano, some clav, and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and run this track. Hopefully the CPU will cooperate running this session and doing the video chat at the same time. But I'm just going to go ahead and start building this mix up a little bit. So let me just start by bringing up drums. Go ahead and run the tune, and we'll bring these up. It counts it with a little drum roll in. Okay, here we go. All right, there's that. Grab my bass next. Start bringing it up. Okay, we're gonna start bringing in the key group next.
Abe, could you turn up Kiva's audio a bit?
Oh, Kiva, can you bring it up on the mixer?
I can try. Yeah, it seemed like kind of quiet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if I can bring it a little bit louder here. But yeah, here, let me go ahead and bring some of this up again. I think I'm having trouble with the CPU, just running too much stuff all at the same time here. But let me just see if I can, make it work anyways. So here's this keyboard group. Now within the group, I have different elements. So here's a live piano part that I played. So even within that group, this thing, you can see I've panned it off a little bit to one side. Up and down is going to control how loud it is, and then this is going to control your left to right panning. So let me keep bringing the stuff in. Okay, I'm going to bring in the guitar group. I'm hearing like a double through the system right now. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure what's going on.
I think that's not this. It sounds fine from this side. So
yeah, okay. I'm hearing a double on this side. It's strange.
Yeah, I was hearing that. I think it's fine when you to the audience. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this thing just allows you to start to see like where you're placing things volume wise, where you're placing them panning wise, and let me go ahead and just start bringing in a few of the other elements. I'll bring in some of the vocals. What else we have down here? We got some percussion. Let me bring in the percussion next. All right. I'm still hearing some weird thing. It sounds like it's skipping or something. It's very, very strange.
it's a little bit. I think when you move the
first time I'm using their video system, so I'm still working some kinks out with it, I guess. Let me go ahead and bring in some of the vocals. Bring that up.
Don't care about people opinion. If me did listen, then you'd have been done. Song me sing them for teach your children. Give them facts, me no give them fiction. Distract me from the mission. I'm a soldier, I'm no civilian. Buy the blocks, we build the building. Break the bread and feed the millions. In the system, don't be a victim. Them I do all kind of sick things. Vampire they also don't get beaten. Shine like a star in the solar system. They love hope.
Yeah. I'm hearing some weird like double up on some of my drums. It's kind of messing me up on my side here right now.
The good news is that we're not actually
hearing it twice.
The good news is I don't know if you can hear me actually. Do you think Max? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think Kiba cannot hear us somehow. I think he's lost, but
yeah,
he's doing good.
What's going on with it? For some reason, I'm hearing a little double on my side. Hopefully, you're not hearing it on your side.
He's going good on his own.
Let me just show you. Since it's a visual thing, you can just visualize it at this point. I'm going to go ahead and bring the keyboard group to the front by clicking on it here. Now, this thing allows you to mess around and adjust the stereo width as well when you're working with it. So if you grab these little handlebars on the side, you can drag it to make it more narrow and make a more focused mono signal.
Oh, wow. That's
when
pretty cool.
It's going to be its standard stereo imaging. Nice. And if you keep dragging it, you can actually extend it out and make a wider stereo image. So if you're doing any kind of panning within the group, it's actually going to put a little extra accentuation on your stereo imaging. So it's a real interesting technology. I've just been experimenting with it a little bit. And I really like the whole concept of it, being able to visually see where you're placing your elements within the mix. You can see the volume top to bottom. You can see the panning side to side, and then you're actually able to adjust the stereo width of the different elements by grabbing the handlebars there. Really interesting concept here. So
Right
sorry,
on.
the technical difficulties on my side here.
It's
but
actually it was a lot better than you think it was. I don't know if you could
I
hear. I don't know if you
part of
could.
the on 3 collection. So definitely check that out if you get a chance.
All right. I think that Kiva cannot hear us. We are talking, and I don't think he can hear you and me, Max. Max, you can
Yeah.
hear me, right?
I
But
can.
so far, I mean, the presentation was awesome. Regardless, it was pretty awesome. I think he was hearing a lot worse things than we were. I was actually getting really into that song, and that's a Kiva production. That
Really cool track.
yeah, he makes amazing music as well. Not only is he an amazing teacher, but he's also an amazing producer, amazing musician. I mean, the guy does it all. Anyway, I don't know. Kiva, can you hear us right now?
I can hear you. Mhm.
Oh, okay, because you weren't able to hear us for a while, and it
Yeah,
actually
I muted it for a second just to make sure it wasn't like giving me like bleed from
okay.
my music coming back through, but it was weird. I was hearing the drums doubled up. It was so strange. It sounded like I had a delay on the whole track. I was like, man, this sounds awful.
Right. So it's fascinating to be able to see the mix while you're listening to the mix. The visual feedback that plugin gives you is pretty cool, man. And those handlebars to make the mix wider or the element wider or more narrow. I guess for things like bass and kick drums, you might want to make those more narrow in your mix, right?
Yeah.
And other things you might want to just open up, but it's a different way of like it takes you out of while you're producing, you're always looking at the same thing. You're always looking at the same kind of meters, and you're always looking at the same knobs, and you're always looking at the same arrangement, and you can kind of get mesmerized by that. And I think breaking the pattern of what you're looking at while you're mixing can totally refresh, make you another person. Really, it's amazing that to switch it up like that, how powerful it can be. Well,
Yeah, the thing I was just gonna say one last thing about the thing that I think is interesting also is that normally when you're mixing a big session, you might be scrolling back and forth across dozens of tracks to see everything that's
Right,
going on.
right.
This is cool because you're seeing like the grand scheme of things. You got like the whole overview of the entire track in one place where you can really see how all your different elements are coming together, which I think is kind of an interesting method of mixing versus the conventional way. So yeah, still experimenting with the thing, but it's definitely some interesting technology.
so where can we find your music if we wanted to like just look up more of your music and stuff like that?
Definitely, yeah. So I run a record label that's called Adios Babylon. I'll bring up the website for that.
Yeah, really dope track, Kiva.
Thank
Liked
you,
it a
man.
lot.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you gotta hear it proper.
Where did you record that? Where did you record that in Florida, or where
Yeah.
who are the musicians on it?
Yeah, so the original track was started by a vocalist named Tough Like Iron. She's based out of Jamaica, and I forget the name of him. I apologize, but she has a producer that she worked with on her music. Believe he's based out of Oakland, California, and so they were putting together a record last year, and heard some other work that I had done, and approached me for a remix. So I took some of the elements from the original song and then went and played a bunch of new instruments on there. So I played, electric guitar, played piano, organ, played a lot of live percussion actually, and then put it all together in a new way, and it came out real nice. But here's
Yeah, great.
my website right here, audiosbabylon.com. I've had a record label since the early 2000s of the same name, and this is sort of my little virtual homeland up here. So you can find out all the different things that are going on. That particular release is right here. The song is called "Now Play That." Tough Like Iron Kiva dub mix. This is available on Spotify and a lot of other places. And then a lot of my music you can buy directly from the website as well too. You can listen and buy anything right here. So I run a band camp. I just have it embedded in the website right here, so you can check out a bunch of the different things we've been up to. Yeah, this is a release that came out earlier this year, featuring a Haitian vocalist named JC Apollon. It's the first time I mix a reggae track that's in Haitian Creole, so definitely check that one out if you get a chance. He's a great singer on the rise. I've been doing some work with a local record label here called Galaxy Sound Station. Shout out to Ricky D and Kylis. We put out their first release earlier this year too, featured legendary reggae singer named Michael Rose, Perfect Gitamani, Tough Like Iron. I mean, we had 15 different vocalists on it in total. Derek Lara had some pretty famous reggae artists on that one. So that release came out earlier this year. It's called The Grudgeful Rhythm. So you can check that stuff out. But yeah, we got some new stuff coming up right now too. I'm not gonna say anything on the air, but I'm finishing the final mix of the next album, and it will be out next month. And it features a couple real big names from the reggae world on top of it. I'm real excited and real proud, of that work. So
Yeah,
stay
man,
tuned.
your music is amazing. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Oh, thanks, man. Respect.
Yeah, me too.
So
appreciate
I know that you got to run. You got a class to go to or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm actually on my lunch break from an online class I'm teaching right now for some guys down here in Florida. So I probably got to run. But hey, thanks once again to Max and Abe at 343.
Yeah, Kiva. Way. Thank you for joining us.
Love seeing the positive works you guys are doing. So let's definitely stay in touch. And shout out to the audience worldwide. Thanks for tuning in here. And listen to what these guys got to say. You can learn a lot. So hope
That's right.
All right, Kiva. Thanks again. Let me give you a little air horn on the way out.
Yeah.
All right, Kiva. Thanks,
All right.
and I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. All right, everyone. Stay blessed.
All right. So Max, we have another segment coming up. Oh, keep it pouring, Max. Keep it pouring. We have another segment coming out right now. And in the meantime,
Please,
could you
another guest.
Hey man, save some for me. Could you tell us a little more about 343 Labs while I get the other segment prepared?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, my co-founder Nacho, he's in New York right now. I'm in Berlin. He's a great DJ, and we really wanted to kind of bring the whole idea was to bring instructors that have real world experience and have successful careers in the music industry, to be able to teach students. Not every successful artist is necessarily a good teacher, and not necessarily every great teacher is a good artist or successful artist. So I think we kind of handpicked a team that kind of can do both. So that was kind of the vision behind 343, and obviously also kind of working with a lot of the dubspot crew from back in the day, like Abe, John, Atropolis. Who else?
Kiva now?
Kiva, yeah. Brent. So yeah, that was kind of the idea, and we're really thankful for all you guys tuning in every day, supporting us. If Abe hasn't already said it, please subscribe to the channel.
Right.
And,
that's right.
hit
Give
the
us some
bell.
likes. I haven't asked for likes today. Please give us some likes. I like to beg for likes or dislikes. Yeah. Dislikes are also good. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, we have on 343 TV, we're here every day at 1 p.m., but we also have a school which runs in Berlin and in New York. We have physical classes. We have online classes starting all the time. I just started a class this week. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff coming up. Please go
There's an Ableton class starting on Monday for anyone that's interested, online at 343labs.com. Ableton beginner class starting on Monday, and there's still spaces to sign up. So check that out.
Yeah, so go to 343labs.com, 343labs.de for the German version of the website. All right, so we have another segment here. If you want to hang around, Max, we could do that. I wanted to I wanted to start bringing in musical guests at the end of the show, and have them play awesome music. And it's basically just about awesome music. And let me just bring up the scene with that. And I gotta maybe bring. So this is the setup of the person waiting to play. I'm going to bring in both you and the person in a second. So I'm going to bring in. Let's see. Jason will be guest number 2. That's Jason. And let me just bring in. Hello, Jason. Abe. Hi, Jason. Hold on. Let me bring in Max so that he can also partake of this. And Max, there you are. So Jason is a OG. Really, this is a day of the OGs. He has
Pretty
been.
Old.
He's been
Older
making.
than you.
Yeah, he's been making music with gear
Jason.
for a couple of decades at least now. And he really loves to make music just with gear. And maybe, Jason, tell us a little bit about your setup before we kind of have you play us out today.
TR8S. Can't live without it. I've got a bass bot hooked up to vocal modular. I got Arturia Beat Step playing my SE, my SEO2. I got Arturia Key Step playing my JP08. Hidden down here is Korg Electrab sampler, which I'm using mostly as an effect processor, honestly. And then it all gets mixed in, thrown back into the TR8S, where I can do some more gating and effects and stuff.
And so you're using this show today as a kind of a test run for tomorrow. You have a live set planned for tomorrow.
Yeah,
a big one?
I played live a million times. Well, not a million times, but quite a lot. But this is the first live stream I'm doing that's not pre-recorded, that I'm actually doing live tomorrow night on Intellifunk, which is based out of Minneapolis. Spell that INTELLEFUNK or some silliness, but they're cool. You know, in the real world, they've got the most amazing sound system, and I played on their sound system once in Minneapolis, and they also show up at some drop bass parties in Wisconsin. But it's I'm pretty excited, and I've prepared for them a really cool set, and I'm gonna play a segment of it for you.
You also, I have to say, you run a few labels. One of them is together. You're a partner with John Selway on Serotonin Records.
That's right. Since 1995, purveyors of the electro revival.
Right on. And you have Schmer Records, which is your baby, right?
It's my techno label, yeah.
And those are your 2 main efforts at the moment. Is that right?
Yep.
And you have music coming. You're so prolific. I mean, you're really always working on putting out music.
I got a lot of random tracks coming out on compilations lately because people hitting me up over the last couple of years, and everything kind of slowed because of lockdown, and they're just like leaking out. But I did have a UK label come and ask for a full-length album, which I have never done as a solo artist before in my life. So this ought to be interesting if I put that together.
All right. So without further ado, I'm just going to let you have the rest of the time of the show.
Goodbye, Abe. Thanks for having me.
You'll be cut off at 2:00. And let me just say thanks to Max for being such a good sport and letting us play "This Is Your Life" with you. Thanks for everybody that came around and hung around and watched us do our thing here. I'm trying to keep it and mix it up a little bit and do some different things in here. So bear with the technical difficulties from time to time. It's not easy to manage this, but I really doing this from the bottom of my heart for you guys. So without further ado,
Abe. You're doing God's work. Don't stop.
Right. So I'm just going to take, Max, you and me, I'm just going to take us out of there. Do you want your face on there, Jason, or do you want just the gear to be played, to be shown?
Just the gear.
Just the gear. So just the gear at this point, and everything else except for the gear will be out. So bye-bye.
See ya.